Today, I want to talk to you about self-respect. Powerful topic, because many times we have little self-respect. We don't even know who we are. And I just want to give this to you right now. Who you are is not what you are. Many times we think that just because I have been raised circumstantially by these areas, it shapes what I am. And so we think that's who we are, but that's not necessarily true. Who you are is who God called you to be, who God says you are. And these are determinations He determined way before the foundation of the world. I need you to know that you're somebody special. You're somebody important. Today, I want you to put your shoulders up, square yourself, and decide, I am more than I even thought I was. Just the very fact for you get to say I am, you get to share in God's name. He says to Moses, tell them I am sent you. I am that I am. And so every time we get to say I am, we have to be careful, because if we're not careful, we'll take the name of the Lord, thy God, our God, in vain, because His name is attached to us. And you know what He says? He says, watch this, catch this. I am victorious. When you say I am victorious, you have now aligned yourself properly with Him. But if you say I'm a loser, then you have disconnected yourself from Him. You have detached. You've brought vanity to His essence, to His person. And He wants us to share in His I amness. He really does. Let me tell you, the Bible says something interesting in Mark 12. Blows my mind. I mean, fascinates me. It says, and Jesus answered him, Mark 12, verse 29, and Jesus answered him, the first of all the commandments is, hear, O Israel, talking to us as well, the Lord our God is one Lord. Then He says this, and thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. That's heart, that's soul, that's mind, and with all thy strength. This is the first commandment. It's not a suggestion. It's a commandment. Watch this. Then He says, and the second is like, namely this, thou shalt love thy neighbor, and this is the part I want you to catch, as thyself. There is none other commandment greater than these. Wow. And this is what He said. I need you to love your neighbor like you love yourself. Like, as, and like are synonymous. It means just like you love yourself, it's the capacity of how you're going to love your neighbor. You know, it's hard to love somebody when you don't have a love for yourself, when you have no respect for yourself. You won't respect others when you don't respect yourself. I see people walking down the street, and I don't mean to harp on this, but even with the young men and their pants hanging down, there's no respect for themselves. So how do you think that they're going to respect someone else? How do you think that the picture, even just the picture, it says no respect? And so we've got to learn to know who we are. We are kings and priests. I mean to tell you, God has never designed us to walk around as mere worms, crawling on the ground, trying to figure out who we are, confused, upset, disturbed, distracted, detracted. I mean, God has never ever put us in that kind of, that's never been His plan. He has always designed us. He has designed us to be as He is. That's why He tells us, be conformed into the image of His dear Son. He says we're made in the image and likeness of Him. Get this. When you have self-respect, it's because you respect your image. You know who you are. And if you know who you are by your image, and you connect your image with the image and likeness of God, you will never, ever get distracted, thrown off course. You will begin to focus. And watch this. Even if you fail, this is what I need you to get. Forgive us, religious people who have beat you up and told you never have another way back to God when you fail. Even if you fail, God is there to pick you up. And I like to tell people, when you fall, if you fall forward. And I'm not telling you to fall. I'm not making way for sin. But the reality of it is, sin is going to happen. Sin is possible. But you got to know that if I respect myself, I am not going to stay in this pig pen. Even the prodigal son, who we call the prodigal son, he got to the pig pen and he woke up because he had some respect for himself. He knew the image and likeness that he came from. He knew who his father was. And he says, I can live far better than this as a servant in my Father's house. Not with great authority, not as a son, as a king. He says with I can just live better than this, what I'm doing in the pig pen right now. He began to know his self-worth. He began to have some respect for himself. The moment you begin to get respect for yourself, then you can respect others. Then you can love others. And you'll see, I'm telling you, you'll see life switching. You'll see things turning around. You'll see that people will even be drawn to you. Many people, they're pulled away because they see your image of what you believe about yourself. I'm telling you, today, pick yourself up. Determine that I'm greater than this. Know who you are. Get some self-respect, some self-worth. Know your value. I don't care if you're living in a raggedy shack right now. You got to know that you don't belong there. That's your temporary station right now. And you're going to have to get up and say, this is not who I am. I am greater than this. Put value to yourself. Go back to school. You got to go back to school. Do it. It'll be worth it. God bless you. Today, get up. Know your value. Get some self-respect. Love yourself so you can love me, so you can love all those around you. God bless you.